ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಅಪಾರ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಅಪಾರ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಕೃಪಾ ಸಾಗರ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಅಪಾರ ಮಹಿಮಾ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಕೃಪಾ ಸಾಗರ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ 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 ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ದೀನದಯಾಳೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ ದೀನದಯಾಳೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಕೃಪಾಣೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ ದೀನದಯಾಳೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಕೃಪಾಣೋ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಜಯ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ 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 ಸದ್ಗುರುನಾಥ ಗುರುನಾಥ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಭಗವತ್ಪಾದ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರೋ ಜಯ
ಓಂ ಸಹನಾ ಭವತು ಸಹನೋ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂ ಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ 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 Hari Om and prostrations to one and all. Recently, a person called me and said, Swamiji, I am very much disturbed. Please give some advice. I said, what happened? He said, Swamiji, today morning I read an article. So that article said that the Chinese, they deliberately introduced this COVID virus, this coronavirus, as a part of biological warfare. So this they were planning even from 2015. And they knew that the future war is not going to be nuclear war, it is going to be biological war. So they deliberately introduced this virus. And today the whole world is suffering and they are watching this drama and they are ready to exploit the situation by selling vaccines, medicines, etc. So when I think of these wicked and crooked behavior of these Chinese people, I'm not able to contain my disturbance. I read this article in the morning, but the whole day I have been brooding over it and I am totally disturbed. So what can be the advice you can give? So this conversation with this person which I had became the inspiration for this talk. So in this talk, we will be discussing three important issues. Number one, understanding the importance of choosing our thoughts. Number two, understanding the power of our thoughts. And number three, understanding the relationship between our thoughts and our external environment. So these are the three topics which we are going to discuss today. So the number one, understanding the importance of choosing the thought. So coming back to this person, for almost half an hour he went on and on and on, whatever he had read in the newspaper. How the Chinese people, they deliberately introduced this virus. So as he was narrating this, he was fretting and fuming. He was boiling with rage. He was completely disturbed and frustrated. And finally, once he had released all the pent-up energies, after around half an hour, totally tired and exhausted, he said, Swamiji, I am totally disturbed, please guide me. After a few moments of silence, I asked him one question. I said, dear friend, tell me one thing. Are you disturbed? He said, yes, of course, that's why I called you. I said, who is the cause of your disturbance? He said, Swamiji, there is no doubt it is the doings of these Chinese people. This is the cause of my disturbance. I said, my dear friend, analyze the situation carefully. Because now you are suffering from a disease called disturbance of mind. If we have to rightly treat this disease, we will have to diagnose this disease properly. Are you sure that it is this article which has disturbed you? If you properly pay attention, your mind will come to know. It is not the doings of the Chinese people which disturb you. It is the negative emotions arising in your mind as a reaction to these doings that is disturbing you. So what is disturbing you? it is not the Chinese people who are disturbing you, it is your negative emotions as a reaction. So in short, your negative thoughts are disturbing you. So this law we have to keep in mind. And what is the law? The law is, as your thoughts, so will be the state of your mind. If your thoughts are positive, you will have a cheerful and peaceful mind. If your thoughts are negative, you will have a disturbed mind. There is a cause-effect relationship. The state of my mind is determined not by the external happenings. The state of my mind is determined by the thoughts I entertain. So who is responsible for my disturbance? Let me not blame anyone. Let me blame myself. It is exactly like this COVID virus. If I have contracted COVID, who is responsible? Not somebody, but my own carelessness. I did not cover my nose and mouth properly, and therefore I contracted coronavirus. I cannot blame anyone for that. In the same way, when I am not careful about choosing my thoughts, when I carelessly entertain negative thoughts, these negative thoughts in turn become the cause of disturbance in my mind. So who has to be blamed? I alone am responsible for my disturbance of the mind. This is a very important thing to understand. There is a cause-effect relationship. In the present, I am disturbed because in the past, I have been entertaining some or the other negative thoughts. Thoughts of hatred, of vengeance, of jealousy, of anger, of ill feeling, of bitterness. When I entertain these thoughts, finally I end up getting disturbed. So what is the solution? The solution is only one. Negative thoughts disturbed my mind, so I should replace my negative thoughts with positive thoughts. This is the only solution. Then that person asked, Swāmījī, then what about these Chinese people? I said, my dear friend, forget about others. There is another law which says, as you sow, so shall you reap. So if these people have really done something wrong, then they will have to face the consequences. But you don't have to bother about it. There is a Lord who is taking care of the world. There is a karma phala data. Doers of good, only good things will happen. So those who have been doing vicious action, they will have to reap the results, reap the consequences. You don't have to worry about it. That is none of your business. Forget about it. Your business is only one, to take care of your mind. Because you are suffering because of your negative thoughts. So just pay attention to your mind. Take care of your mind. This is the first responsibility. And of course, the only responsibility. Let us understand this relationship. That there is a relationship between the thoughts I entertain and consequently the state of mind which I land in. So how to ensure positive thoughts? So we have this 5-point technique. Observe, detect, eliminate, substitute, strengthen. Observe the thoughts, number 1. Detect the negative thoughts because they are the problem creating thoughts. So detect the negative lines of thinking. Eliminate these negative thoughts, third one. Substitute these negative thoughts with positive thoughts, fourth one. And the fifth one, strengthen these positive thoughts by entertaining these positive thoughts again and again. And a time comes when positive thoughts become natural to you, and therefore peace and happiness and cheerfulness become natural to you. Till then, we have to go on replacing the negative with the positive, and we have to go on entertaining the positive thoughts. This is the way. Remember, if I am disturbed, I alone am wrong. There is a law, it's a Maha Mantra. So whenever I am disturbed, don't say somebody is wrong. It is because of somebody that I am disturbed. Don't say that. That's not the truth. You must say, if I am disturbed, I am wrong. So then what happens? Your entire attention will be upon self-reformation and not upon reforming somebody else. Please understand, reforming somebody else is not in our hands. Most of the time, it is impossible. But reforming ourselves, it is in our hands. So every time the mind is disturbed, we should turn our attention within. Because somewhere we are entertaining negative thoughts, because of which we are disturbed. In fact, every disturbance of the mind is a coded message from the Lord, from our Creator. And the message is, my dear child, your line of thinking is wrong. This is the way we have to understand. So every time the mind gets disturbed, understand this is a signal from our Creator to correct our thinking. This is the way we have to analyze the situation. So let us pay attention to this mind. And one important thing is, a person who regularly meditates, he develops an ability to peep deep within his own mind. He is able to observe his thoughts. And what is the greatest benefit of the ability to observe our thoughts? When we are able to observe our thoughts, we are able to detect these negative thoughts at a very early stage. And what is the benefit of the ability to detect at a very early stage? The law is, the earlier the detection, easier the correction. If you are able to detect these negative thoughts at a very early stage, then we can prevent these negative thoughts from becoming negative speech and becoming negative actions, because everything originates from thoughts. As they say, beware of your thoughts because they become your words. Beware of your words because they become your actions. Beware of your actions because they become your habits. Beware of your habits because they become your character, and beware of your character because they ultimately decide your destiny. So everything starts from thoughts. So if we are able to detect these negative thoughts at a very early stage, we are able to correct it easily. As they say, nip it in the bud. We are able to nip these negative thoughts in the bud. As they say, a stitch in time saves 9. We are able to put that stitch at the right time. So those people who regularly meditate, regularly pray, they have this great advantage that they are able to detect these negative happenings in the mind at a very early stage, and they are able to correct it. So let us come out of these disturbances of the mind by replacing the negative thoughts with the positive thoughts. So this is the first topic, the importance of choosing the thoughts. May we choose positive thoughts, and thus may we enjoy peace and happiness throughout. The next topic is understanding the power of thoughts. Very many times we are not realizing how powerful our thoughts can be. Whether negative thoughts or positive thoughts, they can be very, very powerful. To what extent they can be powerful? If the negative thought becomes really intense, it can take us to a life-threatening state. our negative thoughts can be life-threatening. In the same way, our positive thoughts can infuse a new life even to a person who is lying on his deathbed. It can be life-saving. Negative thoughts can be life-threatening. Positive thoughts can be life-saving. You may think I am exaggerating. I am not. How dangerous these negative thoughts are, this particular incident will make it clear. I was reading some news article. So in that news, they were mentioning about some of the experiments being conducted on the prisoners of war. So this was in World War II. So that was the time when they used to conduct so many experiments upon the prisoners of war. So one such experiment was this. So they took this prisoner of war. He was made to lie on the bed. He was tied to the bed with arms stretched. He was not able to, move his head. So he was not able to see the sideways. So he was made to lie down. In front of him there was a clock ticking. And then after some time he felt a pain in the wrist, as though some cut was made. He felt it. And then he started hearing a dripping sound, as though some liquid is dripping into some tumbler. And this doctor looked at him and said, "See, we have cut your veins. The sound which you are hearing is nothing but the blood dripping from your veins. So according to our calculation, in exactly 24 hours, you are going to die." This the doctor told him. And thus, after that, the doctor left the room. This person was left to his fate. In front, he could see only the clock. He could not see sideways. So he really doesn't know what is happening to him, what has happened. He is not able to see his wrist. He was only given this information that his veins have been cut. And of course, he had felt the pain also. Only this information was given, his veins have been cut and the blood is dripping. And the dripping sound he could hear. That's all. In 24 hours, this person was dead. And the interesting part of this experiment was, his veins were never cut. He was just made to imagine that his blood was dripping from the cut veins. What was the reality? The reality was, he was just made to feel a pain, that's all. The veins were not cut. And this dripping sound was nothing but the water dripping from one tumbler to another, that's all. It was nothing but water. No blood was coming out. But then, in 24 hours, this person was dead. What is the cause of his death? Definitely not the blood flowing out, draining out from his body. No. Then what is the cause of his death? The cause of his death is his own negative imagination. He was constantly imagining that he is going to die, he is going to die, he is dying, dying, dying. And every time he heard that drip, his thought became confirmed. And finally, his own negative thinking took his life. This shows how powerful our negative thoughts can be. Our negative thoughts can be life-threatening. It can kill us. To that extent, these thoughts are powerful. This is a real incident. It is very interesting to note, very many people who die because of snake bites, they are not dying because of the poison of the snake. They are dying because of the imagined fears. Interestingly, they found that very many snakes are not poisonous at all. But still, even those non-poisonous snakes, when they bite the person, they found that in very many cases the person dies. So this person, while walking, he unknowingly tramples over some snake, and the snake bites and then wriggles away into some bush, hides itself in some bush. And now this person has seen the snake going. He has experienced the bite of the snake, and now he starts imagining. He imagines that the poison is spreading all over the body, and he finds his heartbeat going fast. Greater the heartbeat, faster the blood circulation. Faster the blood circulation, faster is the venom being spread in the whole body, and then he imagines all these negative things, and finally it is this fear, it is this imagined fear which takes away his life. So says the researchers. So who has killed him? Not the poison of the snake, because in the first place the poison itself was not there. His own negative fears have killed him. So this shows how much our negative thoughts can influence our lives. Unfortunately, this is the same thing that is happening in today's times. They say coronavirus is not a very deadly virus, because they say if the virus is very infectious, then that virus is not deadly. This is what they say. Deadly virus, they are not very infectious. So faster it gets infected, lesser deadly it is. So say the researchers. So how is it that corona is able to take so many lives? It is only because of this. A person, when he contracts coronavirus, he is filled with stress and worry and anxiety and fear. And when we entertain these negative emotions, the immunity of the body becomes weak. And once the immunity has become weak, the body has become weak. And when the body becomes weak, the virus appears to be strong. That's all. It is not that the virus is strong, but for a weak body, the virus becomes strong. This is what the researchers say. So who is the cause of all these deaths? Really speaking, it is not the virus. It is our own negative emotions which make the immunity of the body weak. So says the researchers. So just imagine the effect of negative emotions in our mind. Just as negative thoughts are powerful, please understand, positive thoughts are equally powerful. This is something which we have to keep in mind, and this is something which we have to practice. I heard a very interesting incident. So in this Adivasi colony, there was one person who was lying on his deathbed. He was literally dying. So the people gathered, and they came to know that this person had trust, this person who was dying. He had total faith and trust in one particular Ayurvedic doctor. So as a last resort, that person was called from the city. He came there. This person has so much of faith in the doctor that he believed strongly that whatever prescription this doctor gives, that medicine is going to cure me. So much faith he had upon this doctor. So this doctor came there, looked at the condition of this person. So this doctor came from the city only for this person, because this information was given that this patient, this person, he wants medicine only from you and he has total faith in you and this and that. So therefore that doctor himself came. He looked at the person. He wanted a piece of paper to write prescription. Now the piece of paper was not there in that hut. There was some small piece of cloth. So he took that cloth, white cloth, and he wrote the prescription. A particular herbal root which he was supposed to put in water and boil, and he was supposed to take that water. So he wrote that prescription, and then he gave that piece of cloth to him and said, boil this in water and 3 times drink that water. You will be all right, nothing to worry. Now this person, After 2 days, he recovered from the disease. He ran to this doctor in the city, thanked him profusely. Doctor, the medicine you gave was wonderful. And that piece of cloth, what a miracle cloth it is. Doctor was stunned. What? Cloth? Now interestingly, what has happened was, doctor had asked him to take the herbal root and boil it in water. What has this person done? This illiterate person, this Adivasi. Instead of getting that herbal root, he had put that cloth in water and he had boiled that water. Because doctor said, take this and boil it in water. Now this means what? What the doctor meant was the herbal root mentioned in the prescription. This person misunderstood it to be the cloth. And so what was he doing? He was boiling, he was putting this cloth in water and he was boiling that water and he was drinking. But believe it or not, he was cured from this disease. He came back alive. His total faith in the doctor brought him back to life. Umpteen number of such cases are there, where your own positive thinking saves your life. The best example is our Mirabai only. She was administered poison. Chanting the name of the Lord, she drank poison. And what happened? Nothing happened. Poison could not take her life. And there are very many such miracle stories. A person who is suffering from cancer, constantly he chanted the name of the Lord and then miraculously he is cured. Even the doctors are not able to explain how this person has come back to life. They say it is a miracle that he has come back alive. Umpteen number of such cases are there. So this shows that just like negative thoughts are powerful, positive thoughts are equally powerful. So let us understand the power of positive thoughts. This is the second topic. And the third topic is, let us understand the relationship between our thoughts and our external surroundings. There is a deep relationship. And what is the relationship? If my thoughts are negative, I will helplessly, unconsciously, I will create a negative world around me. And if my thoughts are positive, I will attract towards myself a positive world. This is the law. My negative thoughts attract negative world around me. My positive thoughts attract a positive, conducive world around me. This is the law. Look at these criminals. What kind of thoughts do they entertain? They only entertain criminal thoughts. The thoughts of killing and murdering and looting, etc. And see the kind of world that they have formed around them. They will helplessly find themselves in the company of the antisocial elements. The company of murderers and looters and gundas and rowdies and gangsters. They will find themselves in the company of such criminal-minded people. They will find themselves in the jails and the hideouts. They will be constantly tortured by the police, chased by the police. This is, in short, their life. The criminal thoughts inside creates a criminal world outside. There's a deep relationship between the thoughts I entertain and the thoughts and the world that is formed around me. As your thoughts, so will be the world formed around you. That is a law. If I entertain good thoughts, divine thoughts, positive thoughts, what will happen? We will find ourselves helplessly in the midst of good people, in the midst of seekers, in the midst of devotees. And you are constantly pouring love and respect and reverence for everyone, seeing the Lord in the hearts of everyone. So what will be the kind of reaction you get from the world? The world also, the other people also, they love you, they respect you, they revere you, they serve you, they cooperate with you. So you create a beautiful world around because you have entertained beautiful thoughts within. Beautiful thoughts inside create beautiful world around. See the relationship. In this modern context, we have to understand this relationship and we have to practice this, because I have found very many people who are constantly brooding over the negativities of this COVID situation. There are people who constantly discuss only negative things. Remember, in the society, both negative things and positive things, both of them are happening in this COVID crisis. Choice is yours, what to focus upon. You can focus only upon the negative things, or you can focus only upon the positive things. Choice is yours. So there are these people who talk only about exploitation, only about corruption, how the doctors are exploiting the helpless condition of these patients, how the ambulance walas and the oxygen cylinder makers and the cremation ground walas, how they are exploiting the helpless condition of these patients. This is the only thing which he has to discuss. How the politicians make use of the situation. So what happens when I constantly brood over these negative happenings in the society? My mind becomes negative and I create a negative world. And strangely, to such people who constantly talk about negative, and very interestingly, you will find people who talk only about negative things, only negative things happen to them from the world. Very strange. It's a law. You sit with that person and talk for some time, 5-10 minutes, you are completely disturbed because the discussion was only on negative aspects. On the other hand, there are so many good things happening in this world, this person's attention doesn't go there at all. So many countries have come forward to help India. That shows the goodness in the hearts of all. Supplying vaccines, supplying cylinders and supplying medicines. So many countries all over the world, including Pakistan and China, they have come forward to help this nation. Why can't we see goodness in the hearts of all? There are so many doctors who expose themselves to life-threatening situation in the hospital, completely wrapped up in this PP kit, this plastic kit. Just imagine their sacrifice. Why can't we see the goodness in the hearts of these doctors? For these vaccines to come, almost it took 1 year, more than 1 year. How much of struggle, how much of hard work, how much of sacrifice people have gone through in order to bring out this vaccine, which we are so effortlessly getting. Why can't we see their sacrifice and hard work and service? Tana, mana, dhana, there are so many people doing their best in trying to serve others. So many people have contributed big amounts in trying to serve the society. Even during lockdowns, I have seen people coming out, not only feeding the poor, but even the stray dogs, they were fed properly. See the goodness of others. Everyone in this world, somewhere or the other, that goodness is there. Let us try to focus our attention upon the goodness of these people. This is called positive thinking. Let us try to pay attention to the nobler ones, the more evolved ones. Let us try to emulate them, because we are here not to degrade ourselves, we are here to evolve. And how is the way by which we can evolve? Only when we emulate the good deeds of the noble one can we evolve. So let us pay more attention to good things that are happening in the society than brood over the negative things that are happening in the society. It is the responsibility of all these media people, the TV channels and the newspaper. It is the responsibility to see that 75 to 80% of their news content must be positive. But unfortunately, that is not the case today. So the law is, if my thoughts are positive, I create a beautiful world around. If my thoughts are negative, I create a terrible world around. There is a very interesting law of this cosmos, and that law is, the more and more we are grateful to whatever has been given to us, the more and more the cosmic forces will give us things for which we can be grateful for. This is a very interesting law. In Bhagavad Gītā it is said, Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyah param avapsyatha. Be grateful to everything that is good. Be grateful to the cosmic forces, and these cosmic forces in turn will bless you with more and more things for which you can be grateful for. This is a wonderful law. So instead of spending our time grumbling and complaining, let us try to be grateful, let us try to be thankful, and let us try to be prayerful. And then what will happen? The more and more good things will be supplied to you. This is called law of attraction. Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha, Bhagavad Gītā says. Whatever you desire, these cosmic forces will supply it, if only you have this attitude of gratitude. So this is what we have to do. Whatever good things in our life we have, let us pay attention to everything good that is supplied from the cosmos, and let us be grateful. Then what will happen? More and more good things starts happening to us. It is exactly like, suppose you see a hungry person and you feed that person, and then you find that that person's eyes become filled with tears and he profusely thank you. Then what will happen? If that person is extremely grateful, you feel like giving more and more to that person, isn't it? But suppose that person eats and he is totally thankless. Not only he is thankless, he blames the food also. What kind of food you have given? It has no taste at all. He blames you and goes away. Will you feel like giving him again? And see the attitude. To a grateful person, you feel like giving more and more. To a thankless person, you don't feel like giving. It is exactly what happens in the cosmos also. The more and more we are grateful to everything good that has been supplied to us, the more and more the cosmic forces supplies us with things which take care of our welfare and well-being. It's a wonderful law. So people who grumble and complain, etc., what happens to them? Even the good things that have come, even that they are deprived of. People who are grateful, they create more and more occasions to be grateful for. It's a wonderful law. So therefore, understanding these laws, let us, number one, choose positive thoughts. Let us, number two, understand the power of positive thoughts. Number three, let us understand how these positive thoughts in our mind create a beautiful world around. There is another beautiful law in this universe, and that law is, whatever you pray for others, that start happening to you. This is another beautiful. If you pray for a happy world, you start becoming happy. It's a very interesting law. That is why in the Upanishad the prayer is Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. O Lord, may everyone be happy. Sarve santu niramayaha. O Lord, may everyone be free from all kinds of disease and sickness. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. O Lord, may everyone be exposed to everything that is noble, that is good, that is divine, that is auspicious. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. O Lord, please don't give sorrows to anyone. This is the prayer. Now what happens to the person who prays this way? The person who prays for peace, for happiness, for welfare, for goodness, the person who prays, the cosmic forces ensure that that person is in turn happy, that that person is in turn free from all disease and sickness and sorrows. So what are we supposed to do? Let us pray for the welfare and well-being of everyone, and then our welfare and well-being is taken care of. So let us understand these laws. Let us consciously cultivate positive thoughts. Let us consciously eliminate negative thoughts. Let us be alert and vigilant. Now this is something which every one of us can do. Let us not directly go to change the world. No, let us try to change ourselves. Let us try to reform ourselves by reforming our thoughts. And this way, let us be an embodiment of strength, of positivity, of peace, of cheerfulness. And let us give this peace and cheerfulness and strength to everyone, and thus make this world a heaven upon earth. This is our responsibility. And as the Chinmaya Mission pledge says, O Lord, we know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. In this regard, I sincerely invoke the grace of the Lord and blessings of Pujya Gurudev. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.